Hello everybody, NGS here, and as was foretold, I return at the sound of a dropping Season 2 of Frieren. Because, I can't just miss it, can I? Uh, I still firmly hold the belief that Frieren is truly one of the generational and genre-defining kinda anime, right? It's like the big thing that people know, that people talk about, that people compare things to. So it's an unmissable show. I literally cannot miss it. So here we are, new year, new season, new headphones, same old me, and you probably know how things look on this channel. If you don't, if you're somehow joining us with Season 2 without seeing Season 1, well, Season 1 is on the channel, so if you wanna get a bit of a refresher, you can watch that, of course. And if you still decide to watch Season 2, start with Season 2, this is gonna be a timer-based reaction, so you're gonna see a, where is it? There it is, timer here in the corner. You're gonna have to sync up your own copy of Frieren. I'm using the version from Subs Please, so it's probably a rip from wherever they release it. It's not any sort of fun subs or any sort of fun re-encoding or anything like that. So that's where we stand right now. Anything else that needs mentioned? I don't think so. A picture-in-picture version of this episode and of all episodes for going forwards are gonna be up on the Patreon, so you can go to the description, get the link, and go there for the picture-in-picture version. It's the video, the episode is gonna be here in the top left corner of your screen, and that's about it, right? Like, there's no need for me to. Is there any need for me to check anything before we start? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. We are gonna check things out at the end of this episode, maybe, if there are any changes in the staff. The staff did change, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was the um, main guy decided that it's a little bit too much pressure for him, and he decided to step down to like a helping role. And meanwhile, one of the people who was responsible for making some of the episodes stepped up to be the main guy. That's how I remember it, at least. So we'll see if it had any bearing on the anime itself. And yeah, where did we end season 1? We ended season 1 with Fern getting her mage certification, her PhD in magic, and a spell for cleaning clothes. And we continue our journey north. And that's basically it. We don't really have any, like, unclosed story threads. I mean, there are people that we spend a lot of time with during the exam, right? There is Ubel, there is Serie, there is the old guy, the Wilbert, something like that, right? There was that one who also passed. So we'll see. Perhaps our paths will cross sooner or later. Perhaps we're gonna see some split storytelling where we follow Fern and Frieren for a while, then we follow Ubel for a while, and then their paths converge, and it's a big mid-season episode or something like that. I don't even know how many episodes this season is gonna have. I'm counting on 24, but I wouldn't be surprised if season 2 was 12 episodes long. We'll see. We'll see. I'm basically coming in blind. I only knew that Frieren is coming out. I haven't even looked at any art, any posters, any trailers, anything of the sort. So let's begin, shall we? Let me just wet my throat a little bit. To watch this episode, you're gonna need your subs to follow along with me. I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on in the show. Oh, it's weird having headphones that are not open and I can't hear my own voice all that well. But yeah, we'll manage. We will manage. I got them as a gift for Christmas, so it would be unbecoming to not use them. Sound to hear what's going on, and I'm gonna need your support. So help, and I'm gonna need your support on Patreon, YouTube, down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word, costs nothing, helps a lot. Something like that. So, without further ado, let's start watching episode 1 of season 2 of Frieren in 3, 2, 1, go. I miss this world, this music, those vistas. Next time, I'm probably gonna plug my headphones into my mic so I hear the feedback from the mic. Okay, so we are starting literally where we began. Okay, yeah. I placed them a little bit on my ears so I can hear myself better. Always strapped for cash, always looking for work. She's the responsible one. Maybe not to an end, but to a standstill, at least. Oh? Some area she's familiar with? A grave? That looks like a grave. That's not a waystone, is it? Opening? Opening! Or ending, I think. No, opening. I thought they're doing the thing where episode 1 has ending as the opening. Could still be an ending. I'm not sure. In any case, it's nice. Whether it's opening or ending. It fits Frieren, for sure. Saum Marshes. Mushrooms and herbs. And a single fish. I guess you can make a soup. A stash of something that you left here 500 years ago. Oh, a gem randomly in the bushes. Huh? Oh, that's gonna come in useful, isn't it? Hmm. Okay, well, we're set for money. Or Stark can carry it and stay 3 meters behind. They do a flashbang. I mean, it could be all sorts of useful. Oh, yeah, it just keeps glowing. Someone's gonna find it and gonna be very happy. There hasn't been one in centuries, but there's gonna be one now. Pretty sure. Is it shaking? Yeah. A sinkhole, basically. Loads of anti-magic crystals underground. Lots of anti-magic crystals underground, indeed. Hmm. Hmm. Right, that's gonna make things harder. I mean, try it. Damn. uh, that axe is also very strong. I don't know who made it, but they made it good. Yeah, they kinda have to. Weird mushrooms. Also anti-magic? Uh, she's a hoarder, isn't she? Books, bones, crystals, whatever it is, she's gonna grab it. Something big lives here? Safe assumption. I mean, in a world like this, living in a cave that nullifies magic has got to be the safest place in the world. Right? Like, if I was a dragon, I know where I'd live. Mages can't do anything to me if I live there. Right, it's like you lost one of your senses. Is that the big monster? Indeed. Weird frog thing. Oh, a dragon. Hmm. Run or kill. Not really much choice. It has many eyes. I bet it would hurt if you imbued one of those biggest crystals with mana. No, no, not really. You think you are, but you've proven time and again that you aren't. Think fast, Chuckle Nuts! Sure. Also, running away is a valid tactic. So, you don't have to fight everything. Some battles are optional. Because he's unconscious. Yeah. Even running away reminds her of the past. Why are you smiling? A bonding experience. Yeah, let's rest for a moment, shall we? More vegetables, eh? Not much protein. Even washing the bracelet she got from Stark. I mean, you gotta maintain your equipment. And that sentimental value. Come on, you weren't naked. Leaf soup. Yummy, yummy. Yeah, a little bit. Then again, it's fairly common with Fern, so. It's not like he's uncomfortable 24/7. Neutral Harbor and Weiche. Neutral? Sure. It's something. Oh, hello, you. I knew that our paths are gonna keep crossing. Wirbel. Not Wilbur. Oh, so he already went there and back. Until just recently. Yeah? I love this track. Have your canines always been this sharp? I mean, one way or another, you do need a frontliner, which was proven just a few minutes ago. Yeah, I mean, that was predictable. Oh? Why, though? It was a good excuse for him to run away? Or the contrary, to face his fears? So, he basically recognized that traveling with them is the best way for him to grow as a person. I mean, true. She really should be nicer to him. uh, I mean, you didn't show yourself as a person that would do that so far, so I can understand him being apprehensive, let's just say. Ah, she doesn't show it, but she likes Stark. It reminds me of uh, kids in like whatchamacallit, kindergarten or like early primary school, where the boys are like grabbing the girls by the hair and pulling, which is basically bullying, but they do that because they like them and they don't know how to show. Right? It reminds me of that. I mean, that's the essence of an adventure, though. Traveling, grabbing side quests, getting, distracted, making detours. What's that grave about? I think that's a different grave, though. But still, curious that there would be graves on crossroads. Okay, so this is the ending after all. Those are some nice crayon drawings. I thought for a moment that I had the audio from the anime somehow going through to OBS, but no, thankfully not. I think someone genuinely drew this entire ED frame by frame with crayons. Looks like wax crayons? No, the lines are too fine to be wax crayons. It's not like Crayola. The hero of the South. Is it gonna be someone new that we meet, or are they talking about Stark or someone? We'll see that, of course. There we go. in the next episode, but right now let's watch this again, shall we? I'm gonna take them off to hear my voice again. And we can again go through this episode of Frieren. There is a lot of focus here on those weird. Now that I look at it, those are not graves. They look like gravestones, but they're probably shrines of some sort. You can see there are some offerings on them, and shrine on a crossroads. It's, not a concept unheard of. Makes perfect sense. Yeah, we're starting exactly where we left off. And we are starting with a bit of a throwback to season 1, right? To just Frieren traveling with Fern before they even met Stark, right? We had at least a couple of stops where they had to stay at some place for a while and earn some money. So we started with a little bit of a throwback to that. And I really thought that this was a grave, but like I'm used to crossroad shrines being like, shrines taller than a person with like you see sometimes in Poland on crossroads in some villages and smaller cities. You see a lot of Catholic shrines like that with like the Virgin Mary in a nave in that shrine or something like that. This really looked like a gravestone, and I thought that maybe Frieren recognized it as someone that she met and they buried them on the crossroads. I don't know. She did recognize something here, though, and decided to stop. Or was it just that she spotted the sign, the signpost, and knew that the dude is going straight, and they're gonna have to go to the side? Probably that. An imaginably long journey, indeed. This opening, it really feels like it would fit an ending for the most part, for the most of the time, right? Like those little scenes, they are very muted colors. There isn't much going on here. Like let's compare it to opening of the first season, whether it be OP1 or OP2. They were much more opening y, if that makes any sense. This, for the most part, looks like an ED, right? Like those moments of jumping between different scenes, that's very ED. And then there are little moments like this, for example, where it does feel like an opening. Wherever they focus on Frieren and people around her, it feels like an opening. But whenever we see Frieren going through the ages, that just feels like an ED. I don't know. I'm having mixed feelings about it. Like the music fits the show, absolutely. It's not something that I would be listening to on my own time, probably, right? Like it's not going on my playlist, but it's serviceable, it fits the show. I'm not sure about the visuals though. It doesn't scream opening to me. 29 years after the death of Himmel the Hero in the Saum marshes located in the northern lands. Mushrooms, some, it looks like bear's garlic perhaps, and some other weird greenery. Mushrooms taste good, but they don't really have much of a nutritional value. Most of a mushroom is just cellulose, so there isn't much protein or vitamins or anything. They sure do taste good though. She was curious about something, and she did find an anti-magic stone. that turned out to be kind of sort of Chekhov's gun, right? Like, oh, by the way, there's randomly a stone here that blocks magic, and if you infuse it with mana, it glows. Completely unrelated to anything. It's just a piece of trivia, right? Like, and then they use it. Because, of course, very expensive, but we can't bring it because the party relies in the most part on magic. Like, sure, they have Stark, but he can't really help them with everything. Like, if they had the stone with them when they fell into that sinkhole, they wouldn't be able to cushion their blow even a little bit, right? Like Frieren levitating and Fern catching Stark and like levitating for a while, that at least allowed them to break the momentum, break the speed, and they fell in a way where they were able to survive it. If they had a stone with them, they probably would not have. So, yeah, let's not keep it. Useful as a flashbang, though. Are we near the northern plateau? No, not quite yet. Beyond the vast forest and volcanic area. 6 episodes for the forest, 6 episodes for the volcanic area. That would be my prediction, maybe. And we can have hot springs. This is cool. The squirrel runs away first. It's, it's kind of insignificant, right? You'd think. It's just nothing. It's just a little bit of a background movement. Oh, there are squirrels here, and they run around the place. And Frieren is a show that shows little moments like that of flowing water, of squirrels frolicking in the grass. Not this time though. This time it was significant. Animals can sense earthquakes and sinkholes and stuff like that, and the squirrel did. Worst place for a mage to be, for sure. I wonder if this material is gonna come in useful eventually. I think it will. Let me. Oh, my shirt is dirty for some reason. Great. I didn't know this. So now I was recording with a dirty fucking shirt. Great. That's the kind of production quality you can expect on this channel, guys. Oh, is there anything here? Any dun-da-duns? Anything? No. Just empty pages. If you're unfamiliar, this is my green book. I note things down in it, and at the end of the season we go through it and see if I was correct or not. Frieren S2. Anti-magic crystals come in useful. Because I don't think that they would introduce the anti-magic crystals, then immediately show their use, and that's it, right? Like, nothing so far in Frieren was one and done. There are many other anime that do this sort of thing, right? And not just anime, Western cartoons and TV series, where we introduce a MacGuffin early on in the episode, and then in the second half of the episode, the MacGuffin becomes relevant, and then the MacGuffin is never used again. Maybe in the season finale or something like that, but generally it's kind of forgotten about. I don't think Frieren is this kind of a show, so the fact that they introduced the MacGuffin means that the MacGuffin will be relevant. I'm not sure how much I like the fact that the MacGuffin's relevance is shown this quickly after it's introduced, it makes sense. On one hand, they are in the area where those crystals are. So if we wanted to show that this crystal is important, and we did that in episode 4, well, they're no longer in this area, so it's kind of harder to justify that they fell into a big cave that has them. I don't know. It feels like not Frieren to introduce something and then use it immediately. Maybe it's just me. I like how casual Stark is about this big hit. Just, as if he was chopping some trees, and then you see a nuclear fucking mushroom encompassing everybody, including Bern and Frieren. Some things are simply out of humanity's reach. They tell us about a lot of properties of this crystal. Nigh indestructible, glows when infused with mana. It really makes me think that maybe they're gonna be in a situation where Stark has to destroy this crystal to save Frieren and Fern, and he actually will destroy it. I can see that. I can see that. Stark needs to destroy this crystal to save the girls, and succeeds. We are counting on you. Yeah. Lots of weird bones, antlers, and of course, Frieren digging through them because, hey, maybe there is a water dragon tibia here, and water dragon tibia is good for casting fire spells or something. She is a hoarder, so it doesn't surprise me that she's stopping there and digging through bones. Quite frankly, I would too. So I can't really fault her for that. No fish in weird crystal caves. Yeah, I can't even detect the mana. Uh, it must feel weird to have this like extra sense that you had your whole life, and then that sense just being completely dulled, completely taken away, right? I mean, you can technically experience that with like really good earplugs, maybe, although no, because even with very good earplugs, you still hear like blood coursing through your veins. Even in a what am I call it, sensory deprivation chamber, you can actually hear the blood coursing through your veins eventually. So maybe if we were to use active noise cancellation, then you could simulate being completely deaf. Complete blindness, I mean, you just close your eyes. So I guess that's easier to simulate, isn't it? But yeah, it's basically like Fern going blind or deaf or something like that, losing her sense. Venomous apex dragon. Doesn't look much like a dragon. Looks like a fucked up frog. But then again, there are different depictions of dragons, so could very well be one. Parties don't function otherwise. Indeed. I'm a man who flees during critical moments. He keeps saying one and again, at the same time, coming in clutch during critical moments. Shall we run away? Yeah. And here the MacGuffin becomes relevant. Big flashbang. How can you trust me with your life? Well, we are a party. We just kinda have to trust one another, right? Like, you can't be a party without trust. Not in a world where being a party means like life or death, right? If he doesn't trust Aizen, then he might try to do something instead of delegating it to Aizen and fail at it because he didn't trust Aizen enough. So, yeah, trust matters a lot in a party. And if you feel like running, let's run away together. Which I think it might have a bit of a second second layer to that, in that he realizes that Aizen is so strong that if Aizen runs, we all should run. Bit of a canary in a coal mine kind of situation. And I think it's the same with Stark. Right? Stark has proven that he's not really familiar with his own strength. When he was fighting that first dragon, he smacked the dragon without thinking much about it, and the dragon fucking died. Right? The dragon was laying there dead, and Stark was yelling, "Hey, run away! I got him for a moment, but run!" No need to run. You killed him, dude. So, if Stark gets scared and cannot fight an enemy, it means we should probably run indeed. Again, canary in a coal mine. Yeah, shall we run? Indeed. Aizen is down, our frontliner is down, we run. We can't really do much else, can we? Now, thankfully, the cave wasn't all that big, or they didn't have all that much left until the exit. That was scary, yes, but also thrilling, which is why you are smiling right now. Bunch of greens again. And bath time. I would not be placing my precious items like that in a forest, in a world like that. Like, who knows if there isn't some magic fucking magpie dragon that's gonna swoop in and grab it. Although I guess that would make for another adventure. So that's fine. I lost everything, including my home, to war. Perhaps I'm glad to gain more things that are important to me. I can relate. I can actually relate so much to that. Now, I did not lose everything I had in a war. It wasn't quite that drastic. But I did go through a move from a house outside of a big city into the big city. And we didn't take everything with us. There were quite some items that I was fond of, that I made or I got or I just liked, that just didn't go with us. And until this day, I still remember a comic book by Don Rosa, one of my favorite artists when it comes to Disney comics, specifically Donald Duck comics. I had that book by Don Rosa, and I cherished it. I really liked the comic. I really liked the art in it. And this book is not here anymore. Or maybe it is, but destroyed. I had a couple of books like that. I think the one by Don Rosa might actually still be here somewhere, but destroyed by mold and moisture and with warped pages and yellow stains and, right? Like, uh, it was laying in a garage somewhere or some place like that for a while, and I still don't have other things that were left behind. So I really find myself, just like Fern, I find myself cherishing the things I do have more after that experience. Every time I know, rip my clothes accidentally, right? Even though that shirt didn't cost much, it was like $5, but I liked it. I got it from my mom. My mom bought it for me, and now it's ripped. Holy fuck! How could I have done that? It's such a big loss. Meanwhile, it's not. It's a $5 shirt. I know that I will cherish those headphones. They're not great for recording, maybe because I can't hear myself quite clearly in them. Perhaps it's going to be better when I plug them into the microphone and get a pass through. But I got them from my mom for Christmas. So you better fucking know I'm gonna cherish them, and I'm gonna be sad if they ever stop working, and I'm gonna try to use them whenever. Uh, those uh, those Samsung ear pods or whatever they're called. This was the first purchase I made for the first money I got from my first job. You better know I'm gonna cherish them as well. And I can fully understand Fern. I really can fully understand her. Taking care of things that are important to me because I lost things that are important to me. And I know how transient they are, and I know that they can be lost, and I know that that loss hurts. So I don't want to lose any more important items. Okay, so she doesn't say how does she know that. I'm not mad, she says, being mad. Now, at least she's not pouting, right? So she's not that mad, but she is a little bit. Are things a bit awkward? She's learning. She's learning humans. She said that she wants to learn humans, and she is learning humans. Credit where it's due, absolutely. Maybe you two aren't a good match. We have a saying in Polish. I don't know if there's an equivalent in English, but in Polish it's kto się czubi, ten się lubi, which roughly translates to those who bicker like each other. Right? As I said, the example of kids, a boy and a girl, and the boy is harassing the girl, dragging her hair, and I don't know, taking her crayons and shit. And it looks like harassment, it looks like bullying, but it's simply the boy who doesn't know how to express that he likes the girl. And so he does it this way. Bad way, no doubt, but right? And it's kind of the same here. Fern never had any role models when it comes to interpersonal relations. When she was young, she was with Heiter, and Heiter was not in any sort of relationship, so she didn't have any example. Frieren is really bad at relationships, so it's not a good example either. So Fern has some feelings that she's not quite sure how to show, and that annoys her. And instead of attributing that annoyance to the fact that she can't express her feelings, she attributes it to the target of her feelings. That's how many human emotions, especially those like annoyance and anger, tend to work. Sometimes someone is angry at themselves or at something they did or at something they feel about someone else, and mistakenly they attribute that to the person, or to the thing that's their target, right? Like someone might be angry at the fact that they broke their phone, and they direct that anger at the broken phone, throwing it at a wall. Someone might be annoyed by the fact that another person doesn't like them, or might be annoyed at the fact that they don't know how to express that they like another person. And instead of being annoyed at that fact, they are annoyed at that person because it is the source of that feeling. And it's not a conscious process. It's not like you go through steps in your head. It just kind of works that way. Human mind is very complex, but also always aims at simplifying things. If human brain can simplify something, it will. If it can take a shorter path to something, it absolutely will take a shorter path. So instead of going through me, feeling, thing, subject, it goes me, feeling, subject. But yeah, let's continue. I'm the one who forced you to join the party? Not really. Neutral, Harbor, and Vike. Vike? Weike? Veike? Something like that. It is an inn. WG Inn. Not many people around. Not any horses in the stables. Not any stables, even. And we already meet our friends. And I think this is going to be a recurring thing from now on. Demons are acting up. I have to rush back, and we could use someone like you. Of course. Mind if I persuade him? And she doesn't mind. Which shows that she has trust in Stark. That even given freedom, in a way, Stark will come back to them, will choose them. A kind of weird comparison, but the first thing that came to my mind is, I guess it would be better to tell it through a bit of a lens of Shield Hero, for example, right? Shield Hero spoilers. When Raftalia stopped being Naofumi's slave, but she still wanted to be with him. Right? Things like that. And it shows trust. Now, Naofumi didn't have that trust, quite the contrary, but Frieren in a way has. But at the same time, I think it is a good test. You take someone into your party, they maybe weren't all that willing to join the party, so you tell them, hey, you can join that other party if you want. Like, you have my full permission. And either way, it ends up good. If they decide to stay with your party, good. They stay with your party, they like your party better than the other party. Chances are they feel good here, they will be a productive member of the party. If they go with the other party, good, because it means that they weren't all that strongly bound with this party, and perhaps this could have caused issues in the future when it comes to trusting that party member with your life. If they left for another party for more money or whatever, well, perhaps it's good that they left. So it's also a good test. But yeah, Stark, of course, he's gonna stay here. Of course, he would turn down his offer. I was at the end of my rope, ready to abandon the village and run away. But then you encouraged me, and you gave me a boost. And I realized that by going with you, I will grow as a person. I will face challenges that I otherwise would not. I will have the encouragement that I would otherwise not. And that encouragement and that friendship will allow me to overcome those challenges and grow and not give in to my fear, to my cowardice. In fewer words, but but basically, so be nicer to me. And she says very well, which is also character growth for Fern. She's more, how do I say it, not lenient on Stark. There's nothing to be like lenient about here, but she feels more comfortable with him. I think that's the best way to put it. Right? Her guard has dropped a fair bit. Her precious items. Yeah, 3 precious items she got from 3 precious people. The thingamajig from Heiter, the bracelet from Stark, and the brooch, or hairpin rather, from Frieren. Neutal, Harbor, and Vaika. They're not traveling by boat? No, it's expensive. Going through the northern plateau, accepting weird jobs, getting caught into trouble, taking detours. That's what adventure is about, right? Frieren is a great example of it's not about the goal, it's about the road, it's about the travel. Everything about Frieren is about that. Like the very premise, we're not going to Ende and that's it. We're going to Ende, we need to get to Ende. We're going to Ende, retracing the steps of our party and remembering things and relieving things and seeing how things changed, growing as people. The journey is more important than the journey's end. Did Frieren manga or light novel or whatever was the source ended? I'm not sure. I wonder if it actually ended at Ende or did they continue past that? And the journey continues on. But we got to defeat a demon. Yeah, they gotta defeat a demon. Let us... There we go. Good. I had everything set up. Let us check the stuff and things really quick. What? What do you mean 10 episodes? Not even 12? 10? I guess they're just going with a single arc? That wasn't quite long enough to fill 12 episodes? I'm a little bummed, I gotta say. Like, I was expecting 12, 14, ideally full, double core 24 episodes, but 10? 10 feels very, very little. Yeah, I think they're just gonna show a single arc. Interesting. Yeah, I think it was Tomoya Kitagawa and Daiki Harashina who changed, swapped places. Tomoya Kitagawa, director on Frieren second season, and Frieren first season, chief episode director and episode director on some episodes, yeah, and promoted himself to Frieren second season. Also Spy Family, Tact of Destiny, Slime 300 and other shows. Meanwhile, Daiki Harashina... No, also was episode director on season 1 and became assistant director on season 2. And also key animation for some Arknights shorts and Arknights anime. Let me see who was the director of season 1. Keiichiro Saito. Became director assistant for the second season. Gotcha. I think character designer might have also changed, because I know that people were talking about supposedly a different design for characters in season 2, which I'm gonna be honest, I have not seen. Or was it for Dragon Maid? Ah, no. I think it was for Dragon Maid. I got them mixed up. Because design works into character design. Then we have Keisuke Kojima, who is a brand new character designer for season 2, and Yuri Fujinaka, who was assistant chief animation director for some episodes and became a character designer for second season. No, it was Frieren. It wasn't Dragon Maid. It was. Correct me in the comments, please, because I'm not sure anymore myself. Who was character designer for season 1? Only had a single character designer. Interesting. And season 2, while much shorter, has 3 of them. Curious. Okay, I think that's all I wanted to take a look at. So, let's sum it up. This episode was a very Frieren episode. I can see someone saying that it wasn't a good first episode, because if your expectations are similar to different shows than Frieren, then yeah, there wasn't really all that much action, there wasn't any real battle, we didn't really start any new important arcs or anything. It was mostly fluff. It was just fluff. We made some food, we learned about crystals, we ran away from a dragon, which was that actiony bit. We met our old friends. And that's basically it. Basically not much. Just fluff. Something that you would see in between 2 arcs in the middle of a season, for example. Not something that you would see as a season opener. And yet in Frieren it makes sense. Mostly because it reestablishes the core of this show, which is journey, which is travel. And episode 1 opens with travel. It doesn't open with us going somewhere and staying there for a month and then a big fight with a big bad boss, because that is not the core of Frieren. Sticking around, fighting big things happens, but it's not the clue of this show. The clue is travel. Travel and interpersonal relationships. And this episode has those elements for sure. It wouldn't work as an opening episode of any other show, of any other series, but it works exceedingly well as an opening episode of Frieren. Honestly. Besides that, it was a fun episode that I don't really have much to say about, because again, it was mostly fluff. It was fun seeing those characters again. It was fun seeing how Fern's attitude towards Stark has changed. It kind of surprised me that we showed this sort of a change this early on without having like a whole arc for them, right? Like, Frieren has to go somewhere and it's up to Fern and Stark to go somewhere else, and they have to spend 3 episodes traveling together, and they grow closer and Fern's attitude changes, right? We didn't go through any of that. Fern just grew. Because truth of the matter is, people do that. People rarely have character arcs that they go through. It happens, sure. It happens sometimes that a series of events in your life changes you as a person, absolutely. But growth like that just happens in the background, almost passively. And I think that this was shown in this episode. I had fun. This episode felt short, which to me is a mark of a well done episode, where I feel like I could have watched a fair bit more of it. And I think that's it. I don't think I have much more to say on the topic, but maybe you guys do. And if you do, then say so in the comments down below or on my Discord if you'd like. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe to be notified of future episodes of Frieren on the channel. Support me if you want on Patreon or YouTube, down below YouTube memberships that give you membership. And on Patreon you can get, for example, the picture-in-picture version of this episode if you'd like. Or not, you don't have to pay a single cent and share this video. Spread the word, it costs you absolutely nothing and helps the channel an awful lot to grow by the word of mouth. And with that, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's my one for Patreons: QB, Dr. Watt, Akamancer, Fassel, and Hans Peter. And you can join them if you want without having to get flashbanged.